Rockstar Games is a very successful company, with $7 billion made from Grand Theft Auto 5 alone. But I think it's safe to say that no matter how successful you are, money is money. So when Rockstar was threatened with a $150 million lawsuit, it most definitely stirred up some controversy. So in this video, I, General Rocque, will be going over the details of the lawsuit from how it started to how it ended. Let's get started by introducing Leslie Benzies. Benzies is a Scottish game developer who used to work at Rockstar North before he quit. Of course, Benzies wasn't just any developer. During his time at Rockstar Games, Benzies was in fact a lead developer for some of the Grand Theft Auto series. In fact, Benzies was a key developer in the games such as Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption, and LA Noire. Now that Benzies has been introduced, let's give a little bit of context about the lawsuit. Benzies had an incredibly important role in the development of Grand Theft Auto 5, the game we all know and love to this day. In fact, Benzies' name is at the end of the credits. So with that in mind, you would expect for someone with that kind of power to be paid fairly well. So where did it all go wrong? Let's get into how it started. The lawsuit took place throughout April of 2016 to February of 2019. According to Benzies, the actions that influenced his starting of the lawsuit goes back to his sabbatical leave, of which he claimed was influenced by the Hauser brothers. When Benzies returned to the Rockstar North office, he found his access to both the building and company emails had been denied. After being let in by security, he was swiftly told to leave by the building's manager, a request that, according to Benzies, was not followed up with any reasoning. After a while of discussion and argument, Rockstar Games refused to pay Benzies his royalty fees. Of course, Benzies was not at all happy when he found out he wasn't paid $150 million in royalty fees. He especially wasn't happy when Rockstar refused to pay him said fees. According to Rockstar, when Benzies left Rockstar North, his contract also went out the window. This meant Rockstar legally no longer had to pay Benzies for his work. Moving on from Benzies' side of the lawsuit, after receiving the details of the lawsuit, Rockstar's lawyers responded by saying Benzies' lawsuit was, quote, bizarre, end quote. Rockstar Games responded with a countersuit claiming Benzies had left the company fair and square, and because of this he was no longer due a share of anything. According to the lawsuit, an executive flew from New York to Scotland in order to have Benzies sign off some documents. According to Benzies, he was told he had 45 minutes to sign off on the papers, in which he did. After signing said papers, he realized that in the documents was mentioned an allocation committee, of which would later exclude his name from what he saw as a, quote, fair share, end quote. After Benzies accused Rockstar of a contract breach, Rockstar Games responded by saying it was, in fact, Benzies who breached the contract. There is more controversy / drama between the Hausers and Leslie Benzies that may have influenced the lawsuit. Here are some. According to Benzies, a Rockstar executive had confronted him about placing his name at the finale of the credits, a place usually taken by the Hausers. The executive, who was actually only relaying what Sam Hauser was saying to her, then told Benzies that Sam believed he was, quote, trying to steal the company, end quote. The last reasoning, according to Benzies, during his sabbatical leave, his son and multiple of his friends had been fired from Rockstar Games. I unfortunately did not find the reasoning behind any of them. As a long story short, Leslie Benzies is a Scottish game developer who co-led the development of several successful Rockstar games. After 20 years of work, Benzies went on a sabbatical leave for 6 months and came back to realize that everything was changing. His friends and family had been fired, he had lowered his income by signing off documents that included allocation committees, and left the company before he was paid his royalty fees. Understandably, Benzies was upset and filed a lawsuit against Rockstar Games for $150 billion, in which Rockstar responded with a countersuit stating Benzies left the company fair and square, and it isn't due for any payments. The New York State Supreme Court responded by saying that Rockstar Games had not broken any contracts, but according to Rockstar, Benzies did. The lawsuit came to an end with the New York Supreme Court dismissing Benzies' claims. That being said, if you have any questions for me on the video subject, please do not be afraid to ask them in the comments below.